estate cars aren't exactly sexy, are they? They're sort of governed by the facts as opposed to fashion, and the facts being you need to fit a dog or two in the back and you have a family. But not the new Volvo V90 Cross Country, because it injects some Swedish flair into the school run. The lengthy silhouette supports a minimalistic design, but it's very clean and very measured, and as a result looks really rather modern. The overall design's governed by the long glass house, wide grille, tapered rear end, and strong shoulder line that runs its length. Factor in those unique Thor hammerhead lights and you have a vehicle that actually is really handsome to look at despite its practical nature. The rugged appearance of our V90 Cross Country comes courtesy of a raised ride height and plastic cladding. But don't go thinking it's all talk, because this car is fitted with all-wheel drive, an off-road mode and hill descent control. Personally, I think a light car shows off the lines and architecture of this car a little bit better than this dark grey that we've got here. But then if you want to slip under the radar, the grey looks very, very grown up. What Volvo have done with the interior is nothing short of genius, in that they haven't tried to make it like every other German executive car out there. It has its own unique flavour that really sets it apart. The theme of clean lines continue, but everything's highlighted and trimmed in chrome, with wood inserts giving it real character. The high centre console sits just below this portrait touchscreen infotainment display. The system goes out of its way to cater for all of your infotainment needs, though I do think the UI is a little bit fussy to use at a glance, so I found myself taking full advantage of the Apple CarPlay connectivity. The totally digital instrument cluster morphs and changes to display the most relevant information to you. And a simplistic steering wheel with only the key functions forming the buttons is most welcome. Volvo have always got their seats right, and these heated leather affairs are no different. There's plenty of lower back support, which is great for longer journeys, and you don't feel too hemmed in by bolsters either. Loads of natural light is let into the cabin thanks to this full-length glass panoramic roof that also has a sunroof element. A crisp, clear heads-up display on our test car further adds to the ergonomics of driving. There's plenty of room in the back for the outermost occupants, loads of legroom, loads of headroom, and the seats are actually quite reclined, meaning that they're comfortable to sit in on long journeys. However, the middle passenger does have to contend with a huge transmission hump in the centre. Boot space is a good 560 litres, and better yet, it's a nice, wide, flat, usable space. But before we talk about driving, let's talk about not driving as much, because this car has something called Pilot Assist, which is a semi-autonomous mode. When selected, it can obey a set speed limit, follow the car ahead, slow down, stop, set off again when the car ahead does, and also assist with steering. You have to keep your hands on the wheel, but make no mistake, the car is pretty much driving all by itself. This D5 model is equipped with a 2-litre turbocharged diesel engine, produces 232 brake horsepower and 480 newton meters of torque. It also has a clever bit of tech called Power Pulse that primes the turbo with high pressure air, reducing lag. Overall, I'd say it's pretty responsive and it feels like a really strong engine. I mean, that amount of torque and all-wheel drive is always a good combination. And the all-wheel drive in and of itself provides such a stable platform for the car. I was driving in the most horrific torrential rain yesterday without even raising an eyebrow, because the car just feels so stable in even really quite terrible weather conditions. And obviously, being the cross country, you can deal with a lot worse than that. Whilst I do like the large wing mirrors, they can be a bit of an obstruction at roundabouts, but generally visibility all around is very good, and I really do love the 360-degree camera available here. Connecting all four wheels to the road is an 8-speed automatic transmission, and I have to say it does a really fine job. You can barely decipher the changes through the general forward motion of the car, and in manual mode there's hardly a hesitation whenever selecting gears yourself. In terms of refinement, the V90 scores well, because once underway there's not very much in the way of engine noise at all. There's a bit of road and wind noise that enters the cabin at speed, but generally speaking it's a really nice, refined, comfortable vehicle to drive. It soaks up road imperfections well, the steering is nice, sensibly weighted, not too heavy, not too light. It's a car that you can very much feel at ease when you're driving. As you might expect, this specification is most at home on the motorway. Set Pilot Assist, sit back, relax, and let the car take the strain. It really is a nice, relaxing and effortless drive. Volvo claim that this car emits 139 grams per kilometre of CO2 and will return 53 mpg combined. The Volvo V90 Cross Country is a proudly Swedish design, and quite rightly so. I love the fact that it separates itself from its competition and also executes the task brilliantly. It's a very, very accomplished car. If you fancy one of these cross countries, and I strongly recommend that it makes your shortlist, it will cost you from £40,605.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for all of the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For breaking news and written reviews, visit www.insidelane.co.uk.